came out and closed the bathroom door. I was thinking of turning back when suddenly this hand touched my waist. I panicked and turned sharply. At that moment, my small wrapped towel fell down and dropped. At that moment, I was feeling very awkward, and I didn't know how to handle the situation. As soon as I nervously removed the handkerchief from my face, I realized that my sister in law was standing in front of me. She was bent over and had come to get a bucket of water. As turned, my towel fell down, and I was standing right in front of my sister in law like that. My sister in law opened her mouth in panic, and I tried to stumble back, but I got stuck and lost balance. I moved forward. I didn't know anything. I looked at my sister in law and she said, "Hello, friends. Today I will tell you a different story about my sister in law and me. My name is Amar. I have been married for 4 years, and my wife's name is Simi. This is a story of a small incident that brought me and my sister in law closer. My brother passed away 8 years ago, and my sister in law was left alone. She had no children either, and since then she has been living alone in the village. She is 35 years old, but when you see her, you won't realize her age. She is still strong like before. From behind, her figure looks very large, and she attracts everyone's attention while walking. Once, my wife and I went to meet my sister in law. She was very happy to see us. Seeing the joy on her face made us feel very good too. She was welcoming us very warmly, as if we had returned after a long time. When we got home, we all talked together, had a lot of conversations with my sister in law, and everything seemed to be going well. We were supposed to stay there for 4 days, and our plan was to return on Saturday evening. The next morning came, and I went into the bathroom to take a shower. The wife was sitting in the hall with the child and serving him food. I was very happy, and good thoughts were running through my mind, but there was always trouble with bathing because I never wear shorts. So getting out of the shower was a bit confusing. But that day, I was in a very good mood, so I ignored that worry and took a bath very comfortably. I wear it, and my wife knows about this too. As soon as I came out after bathing, my sister-in-law had already given me a towel, but it was small, so I wrapped it tightly and came out with a large handkerchief in my hand. I was feeling a bit awkward. After coming out, I closed the bathroom door and was thinking of turning back. Suddenly, the corner of her hand touched my waist. I panicked and turned suddenly. My small wrapped towel became loose. At that moment, I felt very awkward and didn't know how to handle the situation. As soon as I nervously removed the handkerchief from my face, I realized that it was my sister-in-law. She had bent down to pick up a bucket of water. As I turned, my towel fell down, and I was standing right in front of my sister-in-law. She opened her mouth in shock, and I stumbled back, trying to retreat. But I got stuck there and lost my balance, so I moved forward. I had no idea. I looked towards my sister-in-law, and she was looking at me with her head raised. Her eyes were wide, and we were both stunned. At that moment, the whole atmosphere became awkward. She smiled a little shyly and turned away. So I slowly came out, got dressed, and sat in the hall. I did not tell my wife, and my sister-in-law did not tell her either. All day, I tried to stay away from my sister-in-law. I kept remembering what happened in the morning. In the afternoon, everyone sat down to eat together. My sister-in-law and I were eating while talking with our heads bowed. But I did not look at my sister-in-law the whole day. I sat quietly watching TV. I had only one thought in my mind. What will our relationship be like after that moment? Everyone sat together for dinner. My sister-in-law and I were sitting across from each other. She was eating with her head bowed and talking. Then, as usual, we all fell asleep together in the hall. I was sleeping in the hall. On my right was my sister-in-law, in between was my wife and daughter, and on my left was me. It was now around 12 at night. My wife was also sleeping, but I decided not to disturb her. My sister-in-law was sleeping on my right, so I had no option but to sleep in between. My sister-in-law was wearing a sari. Then I turned off the light and the hall became completely dark. Some time passed like this, and the clock showed 12:30. I started to feel my sister in law moving. She was not able to sleep. I lay flat and looked towards my sister in law. She was turning around right there. Sometimes I began to remember the sight of the morning, and as soon as this thought came, I sighed loudly. I was thinking about my sister in law with my eyes closed. Suddenly, in the dark, someone touched me. I opened my eyes in a panic, and my sister in law was sleeping next to me. She sat down next to me. At first, she started to run her hand over me. It had been 8 years since my brother's death, and my sister-in-law had been hungry for a long time. I had seen her hunger. So, without wasting any time, I began to fulfill her desire. My sister-in-law's soft hands were giving me a completely different experience that my wife had never given me. Then my sister-in-law came to the side and fell asleep. Now I was completely crazy. My sister-in-law's voice would be a little loud, but fortunately, my wife was still asleep. But now if she woke up, what would she say seeing me and my sister-in-law like this? I went back and fell asleep between the two of them. After that day, my